Yes guys, welcome back to another video. It's been a while, isn't it? It's been a while since we've been in the unit. If you're new around here, my name's Ash, I'm a full-time reseller. The aim of the game, buy things cheap, sell them for more. It's as simple as that. Well, you like to think it's as simple as that, it's not. We buy from auctions, house clearances, car boot sales, everywhere. Try to get around. Sometimes we go to charity shops, not a lot. I'm not a fan of buying from charity shops. But yeah, that's the aim of my game. If you've been watching for a while, you know that I was in another unit. I'm just in the process of moving units at the minute. This is the current state of the unit. So, sort of making a dent. These are all listed, all vacuums and hoovers. These are all listed. Coffee makers, sort of a lot of like electronics, stereos, etc, etc. This stuff is all unlisted, just bought all of this, unlisted. Yeah, and then I've got to move some more stuff from the old unit. Got to put all the racking, it's going to be coming up here. Got to get another big racking along this side, and then eventually going to get a nice sort of photograph area here. But yeah, it's taking time because, well, I have been reselling a lot recently, but I've been doing a bit of work with Ben at Flawless. If any of you guys know, if you're over from the Flawless channel, I've been doing a lot of work there. So just trying to get back into the swing of the reselling. But if you've been following along, I've been making some videos recently from the car boot sale, showing you what I buy and stuff like that. And I've had quite a few comments saying maybe you could do a video sort of following up with what you sell and how much you sell it for, what you spend originally, what you pay for the items, what you sell, the profit and stuff like that. So I thought, you know what, it's been a while since we've touched base. I haven't shown you a video in the unit for forever. So I thought, you know what, we'll do that today. So today's Bank Holiday Monday. I'm going to show you what we've sold since, when would this be? Since Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then it's about 2 o'clock now, so up till lunchtime Monday. This is the bit I hate. You know the bit where you've got to actually wrap what you've sold and send it? Yeah, that's the worst bit. Let's show you. So this is sort of all of this here, and then all of this here is what we've sold. There's quite a few orders that are going to be going out. I reckon, well, don't want to guess, maybe in 40 to 50 items, I would say. Cameras, I forget how much of a mind of its own this camera has. Where are we? Where are we going to put you? We'll put you there. Right, in no particular order, we'll just shoot through it. I'll show you what we sell. I might even put a little tab up here of what I've paid for things and what I've sold them for, and then you'll get a rough idea of the profit that I make. I think I've sold a lot of trainers, a lot of footwear, so we'll start off there. Sounds like a good place to start. First up, a pair of Solomon hiking boots. Solomons are a great brand, always worth looking out for, and especially if they're Gore-Tex. That means they're waterproof, you can walk through somewhat deep puddles, even rivers to a certain extent, as long as they're not sort of higher than the ankles. Good for hiking, walking, mountaineering, very good boots. These are a little bit worn, not to the point where they're damaged or anything, still worth buying. Very, very expensive retail. I paid a £5 for these, and these have sold for £35. Next up, we have got 2 pairs of shoes. If you watch along with the car boot sale videos, you'll probably see a good amount of the stuff here is from car boot sales. Some of it you won't see from the car boots, but we'll get through it. Paid £3 for these. These are New Balance 530s. Obviously New Balance are very trendy at the minute. They're sort of like I find the footwear world is very like hype related. So as soon as something's trendy, the prices, they just go through the roof. Now these ain't in the best condition in the world. They do have a lot of heel drag at the back, as you can see, but I paid £3 for these and they have sold for £22, so still good profit. These were an absolute steal. So these are Hoka Bondi 8s. Now, anyone who runs will know that Hoka is a good brand. Also quite a fashionable shoe at the moment. A lot of people have Hokas. These are in, like, honestly, these are excellent. They've probably been worn once, maybe twice. Paid £7 for these as I was leaving the car boot sale the other day. Sold for full price, 70 quid. Absolutely over the moon with that sale. Sometimes you just get sales, like your phone will just ping off and it's 70 quid, and I thought, wow, I'm not going to argue with it. Next up, we've got a couple pairs of football boots. Now, first up, these are, what are these? Nike Air Zooms. Paid a £5 for these. These went for 20 quid. And then I have a pair of Nike Magistas. Paid, what did I pay for these? £5 again. I paid a £5 for these. These went for 20 quid. Football boots, obviously, in the football boot world, there's always different, different level of football boots. You have like the basic pair. So this pair will have like a basic pair, which is what these are. And then they have like a more expensive pair, which are usually like the pros or whatever, made out of a better material, and then there'll be the better version, if that makes sense. But you can always tell by the code inside, the size label. But yeah, good bit of money made with them. Sticking with the theme of shoes, another 4 pairs to go through. First up is a pair of gold. These are like, so these are shoes for like water sports. I think these are just for, I'm not sure exactly what they're for, but Goal is a water sport brand. I went wakeboarding like a week or two ago, and I noticed that a lot of the stuff there was made by Goal. So I'm not exactly sure what part of water sports these are for, but they're for them. Paid £2 for these. They sold for £12. Next up, a pair of Steve Madden. Steve Madden, if anyone's seen the film, absolutely belter film, Wolf of Wall Street, one of my favourites. These I paid £3 for as well. These sold for £18. Bottoms aren't in the greatest condition in the world, but still money in my pocket, nice bit of profit. Then next up, a pair of, I think these are called Siddies. Are they Siddi or S-I-D-I? Motorcycle sort of boots. These are a ladies pair, so they're smaller, they're only a size 6, but ladies ride bikes as well as so like, you'll get sort of like young lads like 18, 19, I suppose you can ride at 16, that will still buy stuff like this, but obviously have smaller feet. So there's always a market for smaller boots as well. These are paid, how much did I pay for these? I think I paid £7 for these, and these went for 40 quid. So a nice bit of profit. Motorcycle stuff is always worth looking out for. Even if you're not sure what it is, do a bit of research while you're there. Always worth picking up. And then the last pair, whilst we're here, is a pair of 95s. These are some form of limited edition 95s. Worldwide, they've got all sort of capital cities on there. They've got London and Tokyo, Munich, etc, etc. Paid £3 for these at the car boot. These have sold for £30. Nice bit of profit in them as well. So that's all the shoes. So they're nice and easy. I like shoes. I'm happy to pack shoes all day long. Straight in a poly bag, flip it over, seal it, job done. Now we've got to get onto the bigger stuff. Where's the camera going? Come back here. Right, for you, it's been a couple seconds. For me, it's been about 10 minutes. It is so hot in this unit. I've just gone and sat in the motor, put the aircon on. Oh, too hot. My next investment has to be, you know, like one of those portable power units. I think they're called like Jackeries or whatever, where you put a plug in, and yeah, I need one of those. That's definitely my next investment. I can have a nice fan, get a TV, put the football on. Anyway, yeah. Right, next up, this is a FootJoy. FootJoy, good brand in the golf world. This is one of the athletic fits. They fetch a little bit more money. Paid £3.50 for this in a charity shop, sold for $18.99. FootJoy do a lot of golf stuff, whether it's clothing, they do the gloves, they do footwear. Well worth looking out for, FootJoy, good brand. Next up, a Xbox One remote. Not in the greatest condition ever, got some bumps and some bruises. Does work, the only problem it has is a bit of stick drift. As I've mentioned in the listing, I said the left analog stick does suffer from some stick drift. Hopefully they've read it and not just bought it and gone, oh, I didn't read the description. But yeah, I did say how much the FootJoy sold for. Sorry, mine went blank. Paid £3 for that at the car boot sale. Sold for $13.99. So still happy. This is a nice big sale. a nice sale. Now, there'll be a lot of resellers or people who watch reselling content will know exactly what this is. I always get this word wrong. Revitive. It's like an English lesson. I've been back in school. Revitive. They make a lot of circulation type stuff, and they're really, really expensive. I paid £2 for this in a charity shop. This sold within a matter of an hour of listing it for £110. So a lovely sale there. Nice big money. Revitive. Always look out for these. Worth good money. Even if they're at the car boot sale, you can pay up a little bit for them. But even if they're broken in parts, you'll still get good money. So yeah, Revitive. Look out for it. Next up, if you had seen one of the latest videos where I went like charity shopping to show you how expensive charity shops have become now, I picked this up. I paid £3 for this. This is some printer ink. Printer ink is and can be worth good money. These are out of date from September 2017. Still went for 20 quid. Sorry, £20. So £3 into 20. Even the stuff that's out of date is worth buying. I mean, if it's in date, it's worth even more. If these are in date, they're about £30 to £35. So don't turn your nose up if they're out of date. Still worth money. Doc Martin. Never seen it. No idea what it's about. Paid 50p. Sold for £6.99. Don't know. I always just look up box sets, especially stuff that's like ITV, BBC, Channel 4, stuff like that, because they're not always on platforms. Like, for example, BBC iPlayer might not show this anymore because it might be so old or whatever. So always worth looking out for. Yeah, Doc Martin. Next two sales. This is a one for all. So one for all do like a lot of remote controls and aerials for like generic TV stuff. So it's one for all. It literally says it in the name. But the remotes and the aerials will do not all televisions, but a lot of televisions. I paid £1 for two of these, so 50p each. This sold for £7. And then the last bit of electrical for this little segment of the video is a Pioneer stereo. Now, I always pick these up, always sell quick, always good money. This has sold for £35 and I paid a £5 for it. So nice sale, sold in a matter of days, in and out. Pioneer. Anything, see, the thing is, like, I mean, we was all young once and we all got our first car, and the first car didn't have a radio in that could do Bluetooth or USB or whatever. So what do you want? You want a radio that can do that. You want to be able to, you know, play your great tunes with your mates in the car, all loud. We've all been there, we've all been young, haven't we? If you've been watching along for a while, you'll know that I pick up remote controls, chargers. I love them. So, I'll show you some of these. Do you know what? If you get round like car boot sales and stuff, they're so cheap. And they sell like, they're not going to make you rich, but you make a few quid off of them. I paid £1 for this one. This is a Roberts. This sold for £11. Again, I paid £1 for this. This is a charger for a camera. So this is a Panasonic Lumix charger. Paid £1 for this one. This one sold for £15. I paid 50p for these earphones. These are, I don't know how you pronounce this. Is it Sennheiser? Can you see that there? Will it focus? There you go. I think it's called Sennheiser. They're a good brand, really good brand to look out for. Yeah, 50p. I took an offer of 15 quid on those. I had them up for 20, took 15. And then the last charger is, I don't even know what this is for. This is called a Harman. Now this just come in a box of, I think this is in a box with something, so I didn't actually pay anything for this. And I sold it for a £5. Don't know what it's for, but yeah, £5. So they cost me what? £1, £2, 50p, that one was free. So £2.50, and there's like what? 11, 26, 41, there's 45 quid there from £3, you know what I mean? So don't turn your nose up at them. I know it can be sometimes a bit of a pain to have a little rummage, but do not sleep on chargers. I tell you all the time. Another nice sale here, big sale. This is an Arc'teryx bag. This is a really strong brand. Pick this up if you see it. always worth buying. This is some form of like hiking bag. It's got all of like the straps and everything you need. It's called a Bora 30, I believe. There you go, Bora 30. Now this comes from a charity shop. Here's me saying I never go in charity shops. I don't. I've been going in charity shops recently as a way of making like videos because I think they're cool and I can show you like how expensive they are and do I buy from them and blah blah blah. This is from the last charity shop video. I paid £5 for this and it sold for £80. A nice big sale. I was trying to see what size it was. I think it was a medium, but yeah, £80. So that's a lovely sale there. Nice and easy. They'll go straight into a poly bag, no questions. Next up, this won't go into a poly bag. I've sold a few of these in the past. These are called Veteran Series. They're British made. They're just a drawer for storage. So, you know, you put your files, or your, what are they called? Not files, but sort of files. Anyway, it's just, yeah, a nice box. Obviously vintage, nice colours. Paid a £5 for this, sold for 20. It's going to be a bit of a pain to wrap it, but we're not going to moan, it's still sold. This is going to be a pain to wrap. This big boy, I've sold an electric guitar. It's just a cheap electric guitar, I won't bother getting it out, but it's come in the bag. I paid £5 for this at a charity shop and it sold for £15. So not the most money in the world, probably not a lot of money after fees, but it's still money, I'm not going to grumble. Better in my pocket. Oh dear, it's very hot in here. It's very hot. Right, the other stuff that I've sold is relatively heavy, so I'm just going to show you what we've sold here. Now, this has come from the car boot sale. Had a few people saying, God, what a steal that was, and I agree. Dartboards, always good money, especially when it comes to the cabinet. This is a windmill diamond. I paid £8 for that, and that has sold for 35 quid, and that sold just like that. Next up, we've sold this portable picnic set. It's from Optima. Now, my sister-in-law actually gave me this. It was missing a couple pieces, but it's really in good condition. This has sold for £30, so this actually cost nothing as well. Next up, this was annoying, sorry. This is a Dyson Hoover. Now, it did work. Someone sent it back to me and said it didn't work, and it definitely did. So I complained to eBay and they gave me my money back, and then I said, can I still sell it? I said it's not my fault that it's broken. I said I tested it, it definitely worked. So sort of a blessing in disguise, because originally I sold it for like 80 quid, sent it back. Obviously my 80 quid was kept because eBay refunded them, and I said, can I still sell it? And they said, yeah, that's fine, you can still sell it. I said, I'm going to sell it for parts. They said, yeah, no worries. Sold it straight away again for 35 quid. So, can't really complain. I paid a tenner for it. So, for the sake of the video, we'll just add it as 35 quid, because it's already been returned. Right, and then the last few sales, they're all the big money sales, and they're big items. So, I'm not going to pick them up and show you, but I will show you what I've sold. So, the first up is the, I think it's pronounced Gaggia Classic. Very good money in these. I took an offer on this because it's not in the greatest condition ever. It does work, just needs a lot of work, a lot of cleaning. You can get anywhere from £2 to £2.50 for these. I took an offer of £1.75. I paid £10 for this, nice and cheap, from a charity shop. Second one was this, another coffee machine. This is called a Melita. I paid £25 for this at the car boot. It's taken a little while to sell, which I'm surprised about because it's in really good condition. But I sold it on Vinted, which is great. So no fees, no post, straight gone. 100 quid, £100, a £75 profit. Very nice again. I'm not going to grumble, and it's nice. It's nicer when you're not paying fees. I mean, I don't use Vinted a lot. That's been on Vinted for about 3 weeks, and it sold. I was like, yes, happy days. Take it. Give me my money. Right, and then the last 3 sales are, first up, what is this camera doing? Hello. Turn around with her. This is a Swan. Let me turn it around. This is a Swan, one of those teapots and alarm clocks built in one. So it's an alarm clock one side, makes a tea for you in the morning when you wake up. Anyone like me who likes a cup of tea, they're good. Paid a fiver, sold for 35 quid. This Hoover unfortunately was broken. This is one of them self-cleaning Hoovers. I paid £5 for this, it sold for £18. So sold for 18 quid parts. If it worked, it would have sold for considerably a lot more, but we take it. And then the last sale of the day is this NutriBullet. This is a magic bullet. Now, if you've seen the car boot sale video the other day, I picked this up for £5, and that has sold for £30, which again, I'm very happy with. So the sales have been good, have been very good. I don't know what I've made, but you know, you'll see it up here. I apologise, the end of the video was, you know, not as thorough or a little bit more rushed, but it's extremely hot in here and I'm sweating buckets. I'm dripping like an egg sandwich, falling apart. So still got to wrap it all yet and take some pictures and get some listing. Oh, the job never ends. For anyone who says that reselling's easy, it's not. It's a long and tough game. And if you're like me, you never have days off. But thank you very much for watching. I've had a lot of new subscribers come over recently and I appreciate all the support, guys. So if you made it to the end, what should we say? We'll leave a comment. Leave a comment. Just write Millwall at the bottom if you made it to the end. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. All the best, guys. Take care.